All right, guys, here is the final result of putting our plants inside. They've grown really well and they're ready to be transferred out. As you can see, our window well isn't very big, but we've been able to still grow them quite well here.
Here we have our other plants that we grew in another window well that was a little bit more well lit, and we started to weather them about a week and a half before we wanted to plant them outside. So that just means that we put them outside during the daytime and brought them in during the nighttime.
All right, so this is the garden that we're working with. As you can see, there's a lot of weeds here. In the back, there's a bucket that's been there for a while. So we're just wanting to clear this all out and get it ready for our garden.
Andrew jumped right into weeding the garden with a hoe. He went right at it, and we also used a rake and a shovel in the process of getting out all the weeds. And Dallin, as you can see, was a great helper during all of this. He jumped right in and wanted to do everything just like his daddy. As you can see, I finally did make it out into the garden, as after Andrew and Dallin had already been there for a little bit, but I did make it in there to help.
And this is kind of going, we sped it up, cut out a couple of scenes. It was a lot harder than I thought initially. It was definitely a lot of work to just clear out this little section, but we're excited for having it. Dallin's kind of reverse helping, putting weeds back in the garden, but we just swoop those right back up.
Next, we are going to put on some Dr. Earth organic and natural fertilizer all over our garden. We haven't actually used this fertilizer before, and so we're excited to see how it helps our plants grow, and so we just spread it out evenly all over the garden.
Now I'm going into the tilling. I'm going to be going through our garden 2 times because I want to get around 2 feet of depth while I'm tilling. That's a good average for most garden plants, and the reason why you want to till is because it breaks up the soil, allows the roots to grow better, and helps your plant to grow taller and more healthy.
We're so excited. Now our garden is ready to be planted into, and so now it's time to get the holes ready to put the plants into. Now we come to my favorite part of prepping a garden, and that is planting the actual plants. So after we put them out where we thought we wanted to plant them, we started planting. And one thing that we made sure that we did as we dug down at the holes was to make sure we dug an extra inch or 2 deeper than the dirt of the plants that they already had, so that they would be a little bit more covered up higher on their stems, just to give that extra support and security. And something cool about many plants is they actually will grow more roots out of the stem parts that's covered. So that again just strengthens the plant as they're a little bit more covered. The water that we used for our plants was a Miracle-Gro mix that we added to the dirt before the plants went in, and then also added more on top of the plants after they had been planted in the dirt.
Okay, and here's the final result. All of our plants planted in their spots and watered.
I love gardening so much, and I'm so excited to see what fruits we reap from these vegetable plants. Today's Gilez message will focus on the third skill in helping you to better effective communicate and problem solve, and that is to cooperate. When we cooperate, we work together for the same end or goal. We find a win-win solution, or something that at least works pretty well for everyone involved. An example of cooperating with the words that we use can be found in the difference between these 2 sentences. Sentence 1 is, I'm a vegetarian and you like to eat meat. Sentence number 2 is, I'm a vegetarian, but you aren't. The biggest difference between these 2 sentences is the use of and but. When we use and, the 2 different parts of the sentence can coexist together at the same time.
One person can be a vegetarian and the other can be a meat eater, and that can work. Whereas when you use the word but, it makes it sound like those two differences can't work together as well. However, we know that my need is good and your need is also good. In summary, when we speak up, listen, and cooperate, we're able to more effectively communicate and problem solve.